Hi, this is Robert Rickover, an Alexander Technique teacher in Omaha, Nebraska, and my guest is Celeste Ditter. I hope I'm pronouncing that right.
You're nailing it, Robert.
Really? Okay. Celeste is a middle school teacher in Columbus, Nebraska, which is about an hour and a half west of Omaha, I think.
hmm
She's a voice teacher. She's a musician. She has three kids, so she's a busy person. She
Yeah.
does audio books. If I left out anything,
I just dabble in a little bit of everything. I actually host murder mystery parties.
okay, there
You
you
didn't know that
go.
about me.
Right.
I do a lot of things.
And well, Celeste has been taking lessons from me, and she has kindly agreed to let those lessons be public in the hopes that people will could watch them and basically learn a lot of what you've learned, Celeste, by being
hmm
a student. They could kind of put themselves in your place.
When I first was heard about the Alexander technique, the first thing I did was Google it. And I'm trying to dig and find videos and information and podcasts. I was trying to consume everything that I could. What is this? Do I want to actually dive into the lessons? And as I was doing that, I loved some of the things I found, but I also kept thinking, are there any videos of actual lessons in here? I just had so many questions that were yet to be answered.
Mhm.
But I just have this gut feeling of I needed a change. I need a better use of my voice, and I'm just gonna do it. And I'm thankful that I did because now here we are 11, 12 lessons later, and I feel like I have the tools that I need to actually work towards better use of my voice for the rest of my life.
Mhm.
And my voice feels a lot better in the way that I use it over the last 12 weeks. And
Mhm.
so other people being able to watch this, I really believe they're going to benefit from it. And maybe there's other people out here who aren't necessarily musicians who are trying to sing better, but I guarantee there's a lot of teachers and preachers out here who have vocal exhaustion. And they're going to be digging around for answers. And I hope they find these lessons because that's a real problem, Robert. People having vocal exhaustion from speaking too much. It's
Right.
a real problem, and this has been one thing that has been a game changer for me, and I hope it is for somebody who watches too.
Well, but just to add something to that, I think I mentioned this to you. You're kind of following in F. Matthias Alexander's footsteps.
Yeah. hmm
He was he was giving Shakespearean recitals to people in large halls, and he would lose his voice. And eventually, he discovered what he was doing that was causing the issue. But
hmm
over time, he realized that this wasn't just a voice issue or a reciter with big halls and no PA system issue. This was could affect his everything that he did. And I
Right.
actually, most of our time has not been spent on voice. We did spend
hmm
some at the very beginning for sure. So
hmm
I'd like to expand that to really anybody, but certainly
hmm
people who use their voice and are having some issues with it.
Right.
That is the origin of the Alexander technique. But people
hmm
with neck pain or stiff shoulders or back pain also could benefit from.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Is there anything you'd like to say to someone looking at the videos of you taking lessons,
hmm
how they might use that for themselves?
Well, I think something you might notice is that in the early videos, I'm I've I'm constantly trying to figure out what Robert is talking about. I desperately want to do something. I want I want a step-by-step checklist of the Alexander technique that I can do to fix my problems. It
Right.
took me a couple you talked a lot about the concentration phase. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
I have the concentration phase because I wanted to know what to do. And as I went through the lessons, I learned it's actually not about doing. And I think as you watch those, you'll watch my journey of less trying to grab onto something that I can do and discovering that it's a lot more of just exploring and changing the way that I think before I do things. And hopefully you'll be able to kind of see that change and maybe catch on sooner than I did.
Who knows? There might be, yeah. But I think one of the things that you demonstrate as a student is it's fun.
Yeah.
This has not been some dreadful seminar that you had to
Mhm.
go to do for a few weeks to get certified or something like that.
Right.
It
It's fun.
to me, it's always looked like you were having a good time.
Uh,
And especially, I would say, well, let's do this experiment. You were always very happy to do it, which
Maybe that was
really,
because you were giving me something to do, but that's not true.
no, it was
No,
because you were
I'm curious.
genuinely
Yeah,
curious. Yeah.
I'm genuinely curious.
And that
Hmm.
quality of curiosity, that I think that is the main
Hmm.
requirement for someone wanting to learn the,
Yeah.
whether,
I think
yeah,
that would be part of my advice too, is when you come in to learn the Alexander technique, you really do have to come in with a mindset of curiosity and exploration. And at first, like the things that I learned, I had to like sit back and rewatch the lessons and even think like, why is he saying no effort? I don't get that. It like some of the things that were being suggested to just try and think, I was overthinking. I was dwelling too hard on it. And but I was curious and I was open to learning and I'm glad I did because now I understand so much better. If I would have heard the first lesson or two and been skeptical, like, I don't understand that, I'm out. Then
yeah.
I wouldn't have got to where I am here at week 12. I had to keep exploring and keep listening. And yeah, I'm glad that I did.
Well, why don't we leave it at that? Thank you.
Okay.
Unless you have anything else you want to add.
I also was terrified of constructive rest. I was terrified of stopping, pausing, and resting. When you suggested that, my chin almost hit the ground because I'm like, you want me to lay on the ground and do nothing for 20 minutes? And I have really grown to love doing that and realizing for my full body and mind health, I should have been doing something similar for a long time. And so this has really taught me to slow down and reap the benefits of constructive rest in multiple facets of my life, not just like an easier use of my vocal cords. So I've been really glad that I stuck with constructive rest and didn't think it was a waste of time. So there's that
Okay,
too.
why don't we leave it at that?
Okay, thank you.
My guest has been Celeste Ditter. And thank you, Celeste, for agreeing to be part of this project and to
You're
actually
so
be the
welcome.
one that's making it happen. And
Happy to do it.
okay, thank you. Bye-bye.